All right, so we'll get started. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is tapping into our creativity. So, Manny, tell me, what do you
To our tapping
creativity?
to what? Three. I cannot. My
Sorry,
volume is too low.
is your volume low? Is my volume low? Let me see.
Yeah, it's
Creativity.
okay now.
Okay, tapping into our creativity,
Oh, okay.
being
Or
creative.
artist.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me, Manny, what do you think it means in yoga to be creative? How does that apply to teaching yoga?
To me, the creativity, I use that to, in terms of some transitions. Uh, the usual transition in Vinyasa is using the Surya Namaskar. But you can create some transition, not necessarily using the Surya Namaskar as your base. Yeah, and
Okay.
also, to me, ah, in terms of what is being although I do not really follow them, but people here are used to or are creating some poses. They call it the funky pose. Funky. That's not
They
funky.
call it what?
Funky. Funky.
Oh,
They call
funky?
it funky poses. Yeah, funky. So yeah, but I'm not much into that. I would rather go for more traditional
Traditional.
way of
Okay.
doing things.
How can you
But
be creative within the traditional framework? Or do you
yeah,
think you can?
I
Yeah.
changed the flow. I changed the flow, the sequence.
Okay.
The transition is very important to me. That
Mhm.
in those transition, they should be doing it practically without effort, effortlessly.
Okay.
Into it, yeah.
Okay. So when you're creating a sequence, for example, you're getting ready for a class, how does your process start? Like how do you decide what you're going to do?
But I always discuss how the class will flow before doing those centering time. We when we have a little bit of intention setting and stuff like that. Before I do that, I tell them what is our focus for the class today, what is our objective.
No, I mean, don't you decide that beforehand, or do you figure it
But they
out?
already decided. No, I have already a lesson plan.
So
I just tell them
how do you
so that
decide
they,
how do you go about that process of creating the lesson plan?
actually I have a lot of lesson plans in store. I'm creating when sometimes when I thought of some posts or I saw some posts that I like, and then
Mhm.
I have a battery. I have a lot of lesson plans already that I can just
Oh,
pick them
nice.
up whenever I want to do that. Yeah,
Okay,
like the warrior sequences, something like that, or arm balancing sequences, or inversion sequences. I have already all that, and
that's
even the
amazing.
fusion classes that I do, I have already all that. Where I
Okay.
combine resistance bands, stuff like that. So one of the creative things I do is that,
Hi,
as you
Kyla.
can see from validated by Mitchell, that there are things that we need to load, no? About external loading. I've been doing that before. I use the resistance band. I use the. Have you heard of the sliders, the core sliders?
I saw
That
that you're
circular.
using them the other day. I saw you use them
Yeah,
yesterday. Yeah.
yeah.
Or
Instead of using socks or
Tuesday.
actually you can use this towel, you can use paper towels.
Right.
But that is okay because you can use it either on a carpeted surface or wooded surface, any surface.
Hmm.
You can just adjust it. It can fit all those surfaces.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I use those.
the person who created that was being creative. They saw, a need and they figured out a
In
way
fact,
to
I'm
fill that
attending
need.
her class. It's only that it's in the wee hours of the morning. That's why I'm having a hard time sometimes. Have you heard of Laurel Beverstone? She's one of the Yoga Works teacher who pioneered the use of resistance band, the long resistance band, the short resistance band.
No, I haven't heard about her.
Yeah. She's good. She's conducting a 2-day workshop,
Hmm.
and I'm attending those. But it's too early in the morning because I have to I have to adjust. It's a New York
Time to
time,
do
Eastern
it.
time,
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. But it's really very because
Mhm.
it's not only that you put loads on it, but it prepares your body to go properly into a pose. Uh, like using it on a bird dog or sunbird poses, and you're using the sunbird,
Mhm.
using the strap, using those resistance band.
Yeah.
It helps you prepare into those poses as well.
So that's interesting because that is also, you know, adding to convention, adding to tradition is that's being creative. So Kylo, what we're talking about is how to be more comfortable being creative in your yoga teaching, or how to tap into creativity. And there's this really interesting book that I love. It's called Seven Life Lessons of Chaos. And it talks about the chaos theory, that in order to be creative, we have to kind of loosen ourselves up a little bit and open up our mind, I guess you could say, so that we can find new solutions or new applications, new ideas. And I'm going to read.
You kind of froze when you started talking, you kind of froze, so I don't really know what you
Oh,
said.
okay. What did you hear last?
Um, you're saying when we want to create or something like that, I think.
Uh, well, I'm just talking about creativity as it applies to teaching yoga.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, really creativity came because creativity, I came to rely on it more because I would always, it seemed like every time I actually had a plan for class, somebody would come into the class that made it so that I couldn't execute that plan. It happened so often, I kind of just, I had to let go of having a set thing to teach. That's just me. You still can have a set thing to teach, or a set sequence, or a set focus, or a set class. But I often became almost distracted by the people that were in the class because I wanted to address what was going on with them specifically. So, but that's me. And I think you can still do that and adhere to a plan, which I also do. I also do that. But I always have kind of a loose grip on whatever I plan to do. It's never rigid. I'm always open to taking a little detour. But this book here, called Seven Life Lessons of Chaos, Spiritual Wisdom from the Science of Change, I found really super helpful. It kind of just let me relax into allowing myself to be creative. So I'm going to read to you just a page and a paragraph. Okay, this section is called Creative Chaos Means Each of Us. The Romantics pictured the creator as genius and hero, but this first lesson of chaos is that creativity is available to everyone. We can all access an ability to let the ego die for a while and touch the chaotic ground from which forms and orders are constantly bubbling up. Creativity is not just about what takes place in traditionally recognized creative fields. It's what happens in our small and large moments of empathy and transformation. The moments when we contact our authentically individual and therefore universal experience of truth. The British psychologist N.K. Humphrey claims that our greatest use of the human creative intellect is not in art or science, but in the day-to-day spontaneous acts by which we hold our society together. So I'm going to read that part again. Our greatest use of the human creative intellect is not in art or science, but in the day-to-day spontaneous acts by which we hold our society together. So you can think of that in terms of like your class, Kyla, for example. Holding that little classroom together is a very important part of your day, right? You never know what kind of challenge is going to come up. So you're always in the moment, always creatively solving whatever issue or putting out whatever fire or redirecting or whatever. So that's creativity, is what this book is saying. Okay, in spite of this, many of us don't feel creative and persistently block the action of creativity in much of our lives. We lose it in our obsessions with control and power, in our fear of mistakes, in the constricted grip of our egos, in our fetish with remaining within comfort zones, in our continuous pursuit of repetitive or merely stimulating pleasure, in our restricting our lives to the containers of what other people think, in our adherence to the apparent safety of closed doors, and in our deep-seated belief that the individual exists in an irreducible opposition to others and the world outside of the self. Chaos theory teaches that when our psychological perspective shifts through moments of amplification and bifurcation, and I'll explain what that is in a moment, our degrees of freedom expand and we experience being and truth. We are then creative and our true self lies there. So amplification and bifurcation is explaining the idea that when you have a moment that you encounter something unexpected, you bifurcate, you have to leave, you have to digress from what you were originally going to do. And in that moment, you're something expands in your consciousness. You're problem solving, you're creating. So an interesting little, let me see if I can find the explanation to this. Another interesting idea is self-organization. So when you look, for example, when you look at a coastline from above, it looks smooth, right? But if you get down to it at the level right there next to the rocks, it's very jagged. It's very jagged. So chaos and order exists together. That makes sense? Yeah. So there's always, when we're, for example, presenting a theme, or you have your sequence ready to go, and then something happens in the moment. Either you have a student that can't do what you're originally going to do, or as a young teacher, sometimes I would go into a movement and realize, oh, wait a minute, this is not appropriate for this group. And sometimes I would not even do it on the left side. If I did it on the right side, it didn't quite work out. Not even gonna, and I almost don't even think about it anymore. I just, okay, we're not doing it on the other side. We're gonna do something else. So that doesn't happen quite as much anymore because I've gotten to know people's bodies better. But it's the ability to be present enough and on your toes almost to be able to make that turn, that bifurcation, that kind of a little bit of a turn, but then you kind of make your way back to order. So what I wanted to do today was kind of give you a little prompt, a creative prompt to create a class that's based on a certain theme. And it's not going to be a asana theme, it's going to be a movement theme. So that we can kind of experiment with this idea of being creative. So we're going to practice right now. So Kyla, do you feel like you can go on your mat right now? You look a little tired. How was your day?
I didn't go to work 'cause I'm sick.
Oh, you're sick. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, you may not be practicing today. You don't
Yeah,
have.
I don't know if I'm like practice ready.
Okay, just relax. I didn't realize that you stayed home from work today.
Like
Okay.
I can't breathe out of my nose at all still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Manny, then so you can just watch. Okay. So Manny, I want you to go ahead and sit on your mat. Let's go to my mat. All right. So I'm going to do a little snippet and then I'm going to let you try to create something. Okay. So I'm going to introduce a movement theme. And the movement theme is going to be waving the spine. So waving the spine is when you lead with the chest, come forward, and then you roll up. That's waving the spine, so that kind of movement. So that's the movement theme. And then I'm going to use that throughout the sequence in different ways. So let's start it together. I'll just talk you through it, Manny. So let's lift up nice and tall. A few moments to breathe. So first I'm going to do seated cat-cows because I'm not going to go right into the movement of the wave. We want to just warm up the spine first. So from here you're going to coil in through the belly. And then lift up, go into an arched back. And go ahead and look up with the chest. Exhale, coil it in. Inhale, lift up. And one more, exhale, coil. Alive. And inhale. So you're going to lead with the chest and wave the spine forward and then roll up. Let's just do one more. And roll up. Then same movement, but towards your right knee. So you're going to turn to the right knee. The chest is going to come forward first. And then roll back up to upright. Do two more. You do the chest. Roll it up. There you go. One more time. All right. Now go to the other knee. Lead with your sternum. And then roll up, start at the tailbone. Do a couple more. And one. Then come to your tabletop. And let's go to puppy dog pose. So this is a counter pose. We're going to lengthen the spine. Lift the arms forward and the hips up and down. Oh, breath. Oh, man. And lift up. Come to down dog. And take 5 breaths here. Keep lengthening the spine, tailbone up. In. Let's let's walk your feet all the way forward to the front. Inhale, lift that chest, straighten the spine. And then exhale, drape it down. And let's roll up here, roll it up. Roll it up. Good, we're gonna wave the spine here from standing, arms reach up, big stretch. Exhale, lead with the chest. Drape yourself down. Roll it up. One more time, arms overhead. Lead with the chest. And roll. Arms overhead, interlace the fingers, palms together, release the index fingers, and over to your right. Inhale, center, over to the left. Amen. And center, fold it down. And step your left foot back. And let's reach up, arms overhead. So we're in the low lunge. And let's take the twist, left hand to the right knee, spin yourself around. And bring your hands down, straighten that right knee, lift the front toes. So we're in Hanumasana, half split. We're gonna wave your spine here. So remember, you're leading with the sternum. So bring the chest towards the leg and then roll it back up. And 2 more. Hold and roll up. Last one. Hold and roll up. Bend that right knee and let's take the right arm up to the sky. 3 breaths. And switch it out. Take the left arm up. 3 breaths. And bring the hand down. Take the right knee back. Tabletop. Go into your cow pose. Hug your elbows in, chest and chin to the floor. And then scoop your heart forward, low cobra. And press it up, down dog. Take some breaths here. And left foot forward, right knee down. Low lunge, arms up. And let's take the twist, right hand to the left knee, spin it over. And bring your hands down, straighten that left knee. And let's wave the spine. So lead with the chest, fold it down. Roll it up. Back up. 2 more. And come up. Last one. And roll it up. Good. Bend that knee. Left arm up. Hold. And take it down, right arm up. Good. And hand comes down. Left knee back, drop your belly, chest and chin. And cobra pose. Press it up and back, down dog breathe. And step both feet forward. Flat back inhale. Pass in a chair pose. Bring your palms together, left elbow to the right knee. And switch it out. Right elbow to the left knee. Exhale, fold, stay in the flat back. Left foot steps all the way back and rise up, warrior one. Take some breaths here. And bring your left hand down, right arm up to the sky for the twist. Bring the right hand down, go ahead and flip that left heel down. Take the left arm up, side angle. Bring the hand down, straighten your front knee. Step the back foot forward just one step, and we're in pyramid pose. We're gonna wave the spine here, so lift the chest, drape it down, roll it up. Just two more. Fold. Roll up through the spine. One more. And roll. Step it back to plank. Pause here. Chop that up. Take a couple of breaths in down dog. Our left foot forward. Come on up, warrior one. Right here. And take the right hand down, left arm up, side angle twist. And left hand down, right arm up, side angle. And bring that hand down, step the right foot forward just one step, straighten the left knee, lift the chest, drape it down, and roll it up. Two more. Exhale, wave that spine. Roll yourself up. Last time. Hold it down. And rise in your flat back. Step it back to plank with another vinyasa here. Down dog. Take a few breaths. And let's come onto our knees. And come on up to camel. Going into camel. So let's do a few lean backs. So just keeping that belly pulled in, we're going to lean back and come back center. 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Good. All right, getting ready for camel pose. Hands to your lower back, toes curl under. You can just stay and support it if you'd like. Keep pressing those hips forward, chest up. If you can see the ceiling, you can drop the fingertips to your heels. 5 breaths here. child's pose. Take those knees wide. Fold it down. So this is the counter pose, yeah? A little left. 2 more breaths. And lift up. Let's slide your right knee forward for pigeon. Slide the left leg back. All right. We're gonna wave the spine here. So start off lifting up. Maybe finding that little arch. Yeah, place that block if you need it under your right hip. And then we're gonna let the chest lead. And then roll it up. Just 2 more. And roll it. 1 more. And lift it up, stay here. Optional if you want to reach for that foot behind you. And take the left leg around to the front. Take that left leg to the front, and we're going to twist to the left. The right arm over. Spin it around. And unwind. Manny, can you stack your knees here? Are your hips okay with this? Good. Let's fold it down. And right. Good. Take your left knee in front, pigeon on the left side. And set yourself up, get nice and tall. Let's wave the spine. I'll wait for you. Okay. Lead with that chest. Roll yourself up. 2 more. And come on up. Last one. And roll it. Option here if you want to reach for that foot behind you. Take a few breaths. And release. Take that right leg around. Let's twist. We're going to twist to the right. Left arm to that leg. Couple more breaths. And then one. Slide that left or the right foot back so you can stack your knees. Lift tall. I wiggle myself in here and fold it over. 5 breaths here. And roll yourself up. Uncross the legs. Take your feet together. Lift your chest. Fold it over. We're just gonna use this as cool down. So stay here and breathe. 5 breaths. And come on up. Right leg forward. Left foot stays in here. Finish Shavasana, coming down. And rise up. Lift it out. Left foot forward. Right foot in. Fold it over. And roll it up. And bring your feet in. Last time with the Baddha Konasana. Fold it over. So you may wonder why we do Baddha Konasana. Yes, it's a hip opening. But also because of all the twisting, I like to add this pose and to take care of the sacroiliac joint. So I know that that's one of the things that can happen is that sacroiliac joint can get out of alignment and it's really uncomfortable. And remember that's the joint that connects the sacrum to the pelvis. It's a fused joint. There is a tiny bit of movement in there. So sometimes with a lot of twisting, with a lot of opposing movements, some people it can get off a little bit. So I like to do this because this helps to just bring that back into the center. So a couple more breaths. And come on up. And in fact, what we can add here is, so this is kind of passive. So we can add something that's a little bit more of a power move. And what you do is you press the pinky edges of your feet into each other. Take your hands behind you, fingers face forward, and you're gonna press the feet together and lift the hips. So you can see that this is a little more powerful, takes a little more strength, and you really wanna dial in the hips into the center. So hold those hips up in the air, off your mat. One more breath. And set it down. Good. Take your legs out front, toes point up, Paschimottanasana, fold it over. And roll yourself up. Good. So that's the sample. You could do more with that. You could add a Warrior 2 sequence with side angle, with a triangle. You could add some balances there, but I wanted to just show you how the movement theme, which is waving of the spine, can be carried out through the class. Right? Any questions, comments?
Yeah, I don't know if you can call it creative, but one sequence during the warrior sequence I did, I have practically in almost of the poses, at least one foot is on a tippy toe or both feet are in a tippy toe.
Oh yeah, that's exactly, yeah.
To
Yeah, that's
make the
excellent.
calves, because the arms are not really, and the ankles are not really that
Not really
in some
strong.
poses. So I practically the whole sequence they have to lift their heels up.
That's excellent. That's that is a movement theme. And
I see their
and it can come out of necessity, right? It can come out of seeing a need, like you're saying, to strengthen the ankles. So that's exactly right. And so it can be
I can see their legs shaking. I can see their legs shaking.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're not used to
That's
that.
hard. And the waving of the spine here is because we're doing twists and back bends. So the waving of the spine is to encourage more of that lengthening and a more freer movement through the spine. So it relates to the other stuff that we're doing as well. So if you're doing on tippy toes, you could add that to, you could even add that to Ardha Chandrasana, right? So while they're in Ardha Chandrasana, they could lift their heel, right? So you could really advance it. Yeah, or in
Oh my.
standing split. They could do it in standing split. You can do lifting of the heels in Surya Namaskar. So when they lift their arms up, they lift their heels up and go on their tippy toes. And then that, so you see how there's so much you can do with it.
Legs are gonna shake a lot.
Yeah. They'll feel it for sure. They'll be sore. Yeah. So
What I do is handless Ardha Chandrasana, up moon. They lift their bottom hand up so that the hands will be floating.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another theme is floating. I think we've done that here. We float the Ardha Chandrasana. You can float the side angle. You can float the triangle. Yeah, so you get the idea of how movement ideas can be a theme, and you can carry it throughout the class.
So anything that you introduce that is not well within the classic poses, and you introduce changes to it, either to make it hard or to make it accessible, you're exercising your creative sense.
Yeah,
Is that what
exactly.
you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, so the different positions, so I call these the different stations, right? That you can, so you notice we use the waving of the spine in low lunge. We used it in Warrior One. We used it in standing. The different stations that you can
Yeah.
kind of keep in mind where you can repeat a theme is starting from the bottom is on our backs. So of course, waving the spine, we can't do that on our backs. But if you had another kind of movement theme that you can do on your back, you can start it on your back. You can go on your knees. You can go on your your tummy. You can go on one low lunge. You can go in the high lunge. You can do one-legged. You can do, this time we also used pigeon as a station, but that's not appropriate to everything. But if you just think about those levels, they're almost like levels, right? Low, medium, high. And you can take a theme through those different levels and it carries it out. It becomes the string, the thread that goes throughout the whole class. Yeah. Questions? Good. All right. So I encourage you to add that to your storage, your storehouse of information. But for now, for you, Kyla, we're just creating a straight on sequence. We're working on that first, but that's something that you can add later on. And you can even add it to your sequence if it's appropriate. So that is all I have for you today. Short class today, especially since Kyla's not feeling good and we started late. Everybody good?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, we good? Any questions? Anything else you guys want to ask, discuss? No? Okay. All right. Well, we'll let you go, Kyla, so you can get some rest.
Yeah.
Thanks for hopping on.
Take care, Kyla. Take care.
Take care. Get better.
Get
No
better.
worries. You rest. We'll keep talking for a minute, Manny.
Yeah.
Take care,
Ah,
Kyla.
okay.
Bye.
I have to stay. I stay.
Just for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to get, you said you're going away next week?
I'll be going away on the 26th, 27th, 28th. So
So
I won't be able to just attend the Wednesday class.
Okay, you'll be gone Wednesday,
But-
Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, because I'll try if there is a signal in that area. So I'll just, if you can continue with the class. I'll just signal
Okay.
you if there is a signal. Because it's an island, I don't know if they have signal there. But if there is a signal, I would like to attend
Okay.
from the beach. You know, you'll see me. In the,
Sounds wonderful.
I'll just bring my tablet. So I'll
Okay.
be working on my tablet. Yeah.
Okay, and then you are available though Monday, Tuesday, your time.
No, I will be leaving on the 26th, 27th, 28th. I'll be out of town from 26 to 28.
Isn't that Wednesday? Is 26
No,
Wednesday?
Wednesday is 28.
What date is that?
26 is Monday. 26 is Monday.
Oh, not next week, the week after.
The week after, not next week. I'm just
Not
giving you a
next week.
heads up.
Okay, so next week you're still same. Okay,
The Wednesday, Friday is okay with me.
okay,
It's,
sounds good.
yeah, it's only on the 26 and 27, 28. That will be next week.
Then not next
The
week,
week
but the week after. Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Manny.
See you. See you next week.
Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.